9 days we're there. And my son introduces me to this wonderful gentleman named Anival, Anival, but he pronounces Anival. And he's been with Campaign Crusade for Christ for like 40 years. And Steve says to this man, he says, Anival, here's my dad, Tom Katsis. And he says, Millennial Job Interview. I know your father. We showed this film to everybody. So everybody was wanting my IMDb, and so it's crazy. That film, which started out as a demo reel, may be the biggest breakthrough I've made as an actor, other than getting on a sitcom or getting a bit part in a movie. So it's huge. I'm being interviewed by you because of it.
Yeah, I've seen it, and was that done in L.A. Real House, I think so.
Yeah, that's Daniel Brea. He's a real good director. When Melissa had that short piece of that 10-minute film that she wanted to use for a demo reel, another actor apparently got booked somewhere else, and so Daniel sent me the script. He said, hey, Tom, it's only a couple days from now, but can you help us shoot this? And I looked at the script and, oh, this is cute, of course. So we shot it about 20 minutes from where I live in a real good sound studio, and when he got done, he sent me the copy, and I looked at it, I thought, this kind of looks good. So I said to Daniel, can I show it to one of the television showrunners I know here in Los Angeles? Of course, Tom, it's your demo reel too. So I showed it to this Mike Larson, who's been a big TV showrunner for many years. Mm-hmm. And so I said, and I played basketball with him, so I sent him the little film over to his email. And I might have sent it to a cell phone. And he said to me, he texted back, he said, when did this air? I said, Mike, it didn't air. It's a demo reel. He said, get that up on Vimeo and YouTube. And then that's when the explosion started. Because it's a parody, and it's only about the entitled millennials, because most millennials are really very focused and very good at what they do. But it was like, it was as though the baby boomers had thrown them under the bus. The uproar on Twitter was unbelievable. And then Facebook. And then HR directors around the world said, well, okay, we've interviewed people like that. So if there's a bit of truth in it, it's going to catch fire, and it did.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing little film, video. And
it is.
I've seen another short film you've done. It was called Gustav's Brush. Do you remember that one?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That film, the director, who's a real neat guy, he's raising his family back in Nebraska now. I met him because we're a Nebraska connection. Mm-hmm. And Mark Albrecht, who wrote and directed that, he's also possibly going to make some of the breakthroughs as a writer. But we never really got that festival rolled out to a festival, but thanks for watching it. It's a good representation of my dramatic work.
Mm-hmm. What is the most challenging part of being an actor? What is the most difficult part of it?
I think that the most challenging part and most difficult part about being an actor, I think, is when you get that particular part, is to definitely get off script, get the words as quickly as you can, because if you don't have your lines cold, you won't be able to be in the moment with the other actors.
Yeah.
That, to me, that is why I can tap into being in the moment with another actor, and just by breathing and just taking in what they said, then I can get to that emotion I want to get to. If I can't get to the emotion as deeply as I want, I don't force it. I don't push it. I just let it happen. It's got to be like behaving as though it's real, not like let's say my aunt didn't die in the film or the short or the TV episode. What if she did? What if she has died? How would that feel? And then you just take the line given to you and let it, and sometimes it's good to take a moment before you make a reply in a scene, instead of just bop, 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 back and forth. You'll notice that one of the magical moments about the Millennial Job Interview is when she said, and I'd be ready to come to work by 10:45. And I take this long take, and it's like, what hell did I just hear? And then I say, wow, Amy, I don't think we're going to be a good fit. And I've shown that film to people, and I'm sitting with them when they watch it. And when she says, well, and I'm ready to go to work at 10:45, I've had people verbally say before it comes out of my mouth, wow. they've said, wow, before I say it. That's what you call taking in what just happened and letting it stew, letting it brew, letting the audience get in on the joke type thing.
Yeah.
So I think that is the most challenging thing is just in a famous story, this acting coach I worked with for years when I studied the Meisner technique, and then I studied master class with him for years. He didn't tell us who the actor was, but he said he knows a lot of people. He's worked with, Michael Nuri. He's worked with Alec Baldwin. He's worked with, Michelle. I mean, many famous. I'm trying to think of the other famous actress he worked with that used to be married to Alec Baldwin when they were really younger, and I can't think of her name right now. But and I can picture her too. But he does know a lot of famous actors. Like he's buddies with John Voight. That's how well connected he is. So he told us about another famous actor he knew that the studio came to him and offered him this role in a movie, a really multi-layered, dramatic role with a lot of layers. And this wonderful actor, to his credit, and Bill didn't tell us who it was because he wanted to give that guy the courtesy of not saying this about him. He said the actor told the studio, said, I can't play that part. I'm not going to be able to deliver the goods. Why don't you give it to? And he named another actor who got the part, who could do the deeper work needed for that role. That's just a smart actor knowing that's out of my wheelhouse. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Are you an actor as well?
No, I've done a few high school little theater plays, but I've done this radio show for 6 years. I'm 18. I've done this for 6 years since I was 13. And
that's awesome. I think that's it. How do people hear the show?
I stream it on Facebook and YouTube, and it goes all over the internet. And
so I'll be able to hear it too when you get it done.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Tell everybody I look like Ryan Gosling without my beard. when I do the middle school children that are like the 6th and 7th and 8th graders, afterwards, I'll tell them I'm an LA actor. They get a kick out of hearing the backstory about me being an actor playing Lincoln, and I'll look out at the audience after the show and say, by the way, without the beard, I look like Ryan Gosling, and they go, oh, no, you don't, and everybody laughs.
Yeah. But going back to the most challenging part of being an actor, that I get the most, what you just said, that's one of the most answers I get often, and don't take rejection personally. If you go in for...
well, of course, in the world of auditioning, you have to learn really, really, hopefully within the first couple of years you're here, that it could be you're really good, but they went with a gal, or with somebody taller, shorter, somebody different ethnic background, because somebody could go in there and just blow the roof off that place. They're going to get that part. It doesn't mean you're not a good actor.
Yeah.
I remember the Nebraska connection I have. There's a gentleman that I've known now for 20-some years that works for CBS, but he started a group of people that are moving from the Midwest, like moving from Nebraska. About 20-some years ago, he started a group called the Nebraska Coast Connection. And about once a month, everybody gets together. It could be somebody brand new who just got out of the University of Nebraska at Lincoln, or it could be somebody else who just moved here in their 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s that are finally coming out here to write or produce or act. And a few years ago, we were having a meeting one Monday night in Culver City. Mm-hmm. And this young kid had just gotten out of University of Nebraska, the theater department, as an actor. And he came to the Nebraska Coast Connection. He found out about it. And he was standing up to give a few minutes about himself. And he said, yeah, I've been here a month and I don't have an agent yet. And we just broke out and started laughing. And we said, you're going to be just fine. But you've been here 1 month and you don't have an agent yet? Get in line. So you got to be realistic about your expectations too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I came out here in a bus in a suitcase, and 2 months later, I moved back to Sioux City, Iowa, because I couldn't get myself a TV show. And I've had my friends back in the Midwest say, "Tom, we love those Hallmark movies. Why don't you get on one of those?" Or Tom, you'd be good in those Buick spots. Well, thank you very much. I'll just call General Motors and tell them that I have a friend back in Iowa that said I'd be good in the Buick spot. Where do I sign up? and you got to have a sense of humor.
Yeah. Well, some people, it doesn't work that way. It takes a lot of work.
Well, you know, I mean, this millennial job interview, I mean, I've been here 24 years. And this is the biggest thing that's happened to me. I mean, that's lightning in a bottle when you can say that something's been viewed worldwide over 500 million times.
Yeah.
How did you first spot it?
I found it on Facebook by accident, and
oh boy.
Then I watched it. Then I looked. 'Cause I always go through shows or television shows or whatever, and I look through actors because I try to get in touch with any actor, you know, that's been in the business for a while, because every actor has different pieces of advice to get into the business, you know. So I looked you up, and I think I've contacted you by email off your website, I think, and I found out you did the Lincoln stuff and all the other stuff. So that's how we got connected, but it all started because the millennial job interview.
Who's the most famous person you've interviewed?
I interviewed Ed Asner a few weeks ago.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Wow, what a treasure he is, my gosh. Oh, boy. So I'm the second most famous. I'm just kidding. Ed Asner, my gosh. I'm in good company if you're interviewing me along with Ed Asner.
Mm-hmm.
What's your big passion about doing this? Is it because you want people to realize that it's not just like some kind of a fantasy to become an actor?
Yeah, because a lot of people these days, well, I'm younger, but I try to tend to be realistic, but people go into acting, they think they just want to be movie stars, you know, and it just, it's a breeze, you know, but it takes a lot of hard work, and when I get out of high school, I want to be an actor. I've done some little voice acting roles through the years with the radio stuff, but I want to do acting stuff too, theater or television or film, you know.
And you do have an interesting voice. You've got an interesting signature voice.
Well, thank you.
Everybody's got. Have you been told that before? You've got a very interesting voice.
Yeah.
And that sets you apart, because everybody's got their signature voice, which is it's just their normal voice, and that's good. That's good. Now, are you near family there, or are you living by yourself there?
I live with family.
Oh, very nice. That's nice. Do you have a little studio set up there with baffles and all that?
I have a little studio, yeah, with my radio equipment and all that.
Now, don't we have a big soap commercial coming up here pretty soon that's going to pay for all this, or how does that work?
No, I don't.
You should have a Tide commercial about now, or maybe a beer like a Budweiser, with the people that come into the castle and they want to have something other than a Budweiser, and they get locked up in the courtyard.
Yeah, but my show gets, I don't get big advertisements, but I have little, I'm friends with some people in Louisiana where I'm from that does radio, and they plug me into their show, and I plug theirs, and it's fun.
Oh, nice. That's nice. That's very nice, yeah.
My last question is, well, I know we talked about all kinds of different advice to become an actor and stuff, and most challenging parts. Do you have any other advice for people to get in the business?
Sure. Some advice for people getting into the business would be the challenges of wanting to really make it, let's say, other than getting in the cruise ship business where you can